There comes a time in every person's life when they pause, look around, and realize that something within them is calling for more. Not more in the material sense alone, but more purpose, more peace, more power, more progress. It is the unmistakable whisper of the soul calling one upward, outward, forward. And if you've felt this nudge, if you've questioned whether you are truly living as your best self, then know this: the seed of greatness is already within you. You are not meant to stay stuck, to live beneath your potential, or to merely exist. You are meant to become. Now listen carefully. You may not have been born with wealth. You may not have had a perfect upbringing. You may not even believe at this moment that you have what it takes. But let me assure you, every man and woman who has ever risen from obscurity to greatness began with a single decision, the decision to become their best self, no matter how long the road or how dark the beginning. There are 5 steps to that transformation, and each one must be pursued not casually, not occasionally, but relentlessly. You must become obsessed with improvement. Your progress must become more important than your pride. Your destiny must mean more to you than your comfort. So let me begin. The first step to becoming your best self is to develop a burning desire, a clear, defined, all-consuming desire to be more. Not wishful thinking, not a passing fancy, but a deep, fiery internal command that says, I will not live this life at half capacity. Most people do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack desire. Desire is the engine. Desire is the flame. It's what keeps you moving when the path is steep, when the nights are long, when nobody else believes. A man without desire drifts. He is a ship without a sail. But a man with burning desire becomes a force of nature. He wakes up with purpose. He walks with intent. He plans with vision. He speaks with fire. And this kind of desire must not come from outside. It must come from within. You must want to change. You must be sick of average. You must be tired of mediocrity. Because until you are, you will tolerate it. Now, once the desire is ignited, the second step reveals itself. It is discipline of the mind. You must take full control of your thoughts. The average person thinks between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts per day, and most of them are the same ones they thought yesterday. If you are not directing your thinking is directing you, and often toward fear, self-doubt, worry, and limitations inherited from other people. You must stand guard at the gate of your mind. Root out negative thoughts like weeds in a garden. Replace them with the thoughts of power, faith, courage, and vision. Every thought you dwell upon is either building the man or breaking him. The battlefield is always in the mind. And until you win there, you will not win anywhere else. When you begin to reprogram your thoughts, to choose them intentionally, you create a mental magnet that pulls your best life toward you. You must say to yourself each morning, I am becoming the person I was created to be. I live on purpose. I think with confidence. I act with boldness. Words are seeds, and your thoughts, water them. What you speak, you attract. What you think, you become. So begin to think the thoughts of your best self now. Not later, not someday, now. Now the third step, definite action. Too many are trapped in the cycle of overthinking. They read, they plan, they prepare, but they do not move. And movement is the bridge between dreams and destiny. You must act boldly, immediately, repeatedly. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until the fear leaves. Act in the face of it. That is how courage is built. Your best self is not found in theory. It is forged in practice. Every small act of courage, every disciplined habit, every single day where you do what you said you would do, it builds you. You become strong in the doing. The man who acts consistently in alignment with his purpose becomes unstoppable. Do you want to write? Write. Do you want to lead? Lead. Do you want to transform your body, your bank account, your relationships? Then act like it. Let no day pass without progress, inch by inch, step by step, brick by brick. That is how the life of greatness is built, not all at once, but daily, through disciplined, definite action. Now hear me on this fourth step. It is faith. And by faith, I don't mean blind belief. I mean the deep, unwavering conviction that the power that designed you also destined you for greatness. You were not created randomly. You were created with intention, for a purpose that only you can fulfill. And the moment you begin to move toward that purpose with faith, life begins to align itself to your favor. Things you once thought impossible become possible. People begin to appear. Doors begin to open, and even when they don't, your spirit remains strong, because faith makes you immovable. It makes you resilient, and you must protect your faith from doubt like a flame from the wind. Do not let others' small minds talk you out of your big destiny. Do not measure your potential by your past. Believe bigger. Your best self is not someone you create. It is someone you uncover. Faith chisels away fear. Faith sees the end before the beginning. Faith says, though I walk through the valley, I will rise on the other side. With faith, you begin to move like the person you are becoming, not the one you used to be. You walk by vision, not by sight. And finally, the fifth step, environment. You become the sum total of the people you surround yourself with, the ideas you feed your mind, the habits you repeat, and the spaces you choose to dwell in. Your environment is either elevating you or eroding you. If you walk with dreamers, you will dream. If you walk with doers, you will do. But if you walk with doubters, complainers, cynics, and victims, you will soon think and act just like them. Your best self requires a new atmosphere, one of growth, one of ambition, one of belief. You must create an environment that makes your excuses feel uncomfortable and your potential feel possible. Read powerful books. Listen to words that awaken your spirit. Spend time with those who call out the greatness in you. And when you cannot find them, become that person for yourself. You must protect your space like it is sacred, because it is. The atmosphere you live in will either suffocate you or strengthen you. It will either whisper fear or breathe courage. Choose wisely. So I ask you now, what would your life look like if you lived every day with desire burning in your chest, discipline in your mind, boldness in your action, faith in your heart, and power in your environment? I'll tell you what it would look like. You would become unstoppable, unshakable, unrecognizable. The old version of you would wither. The excuses would fade. The procrastination would die, and in its place would rise a man or woman who walks in purpose, who speaks with clarity, who acts with power. That is your best self. And you do not become that person by accident. You become them by design. Now the choice is yours. You can let this be another inspiring message that fades by morning, or you can decide right here, right now, that your best life begins today, that you will no longer negotiate with your limitations, that you will no longer wait for permission, that you will no longer postpone greatness. There is a future version of you who is stronger, wealthier, wiser, more fulfilled, more courageous, more alive. And that version is waiting for you to decide. So decide and become. The path to becoming your best self is not paved in comfort. It is carved through challenge. It is not found in the applause of others, but in the silent victories when you choose discipline over distraction, focus over fantasy, and purpose over pleasure. The best version of you is not seduced by shortcuts. It knows that real transformation demands time, tenacity, and total alignment. Let me remind you, there is no greatness without sacrifice. You will not rise while clinging to the habits of the past. Growth demands that you let go of old excuses, of outdated beliefs, of people who no longer align with the person you're becoming. You can't carry dead weight and expect to fly. And some of the people you love most will not understand your evolution. That's okay. They don't need to. You do. You see, every man who ever reached the summit first had to leave the valley. He had to climb, stumble, fall, and climb again. He had to silence the voice of doubt and listen only to the voice of vision. You are no different. Your journey will not be without hardship, but those very hardships will be the fire that forges your strength, your character, your story. Make no mistake, this journey is spiritual. You are not just chasing success, you are chasing alignment with who you were designed to be. There is something divine about a human being who wakes up and refuses to remain average, who dares to believe they were meant for more. And that belief, that quiet, powerful, unshakable belief, will carry you when everything else falls away. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter how many times you failed. It doesn't matter who walked away, what you didn't receive, or how dark your past may look. What matters is who you decide to be now, right now. You have the power to begin again, to shift your identity, to plant your feet in the ground and say, from this moment on, I rise. And rising doesn't mean you won't fall again. It means you refuse to stay down. It means you are no longer asking for permission to live boldly. It means you are not seeking validation to become what you know in your heart you are meant to become. Here's what I think will bring about our renaissance for the future that many of us aren't fully committed to is in the way you live your life. Here's what we all know so well to be true. It means you are not seeking validation to become what you know in your heart you are meant to be. You are not, because true transformation begins the moment you stop asking the world to agree with your calling. Now understand this, life will test your commitment. Once you decide to become your best self, distractions will intensify. Doubt will knock louder. Challenges will seem greater. Why? Because transformation stirs up resistance. But that resistance is the very proof that you're headed in the right direction. It means the old life is fighting to keep you. And that's when you must fight harder to become new. You were not born to be neutral. You were not born to be hidden, overlooked, or silenced. You were born to build, to lead, to influence, to impact. And the world is waiting for the version of you that shows up with fire, the version of you that speaks with conviction, the version of you that acts as if their time is now, because it is. And if no one told you yet, let me tell you now, you are capable, you are equipped, you are chosen, not by accident, but by design. There is a reason why you are still here. There is a reason the vision in your heart won't let you sleep. You were not called to blend in. You were called to stand out. But here's the truth. Your destiny doesn't respond to your dreams. It responds to your decisions. Not once, not occasionally, but daily. The best self is born when you decide every day to become a little more focused, a little more faithful, a little more fearless. Every morning you wake up, the opportunity to reinvent yourself is reborn, not with magic, but with movement, not with luck, but with alignment. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be faithful with the next step, the next discipline, the next right choice. Let others live on autopilot. Let others drift through life hoping for change, but not you. You are not meant to wander. You are meant to command your direction. And that means writing your plan, clarifying your goals, identifying your weaknesses, building new habits, speaking your vision, protecting your mind, guarding your time, choosing your circle, honoring your body, training your spirit. That is the work of the best self, and it is daily work. And understand this, becoming your best self is not selfish, it is necessary, because when you rise, you pull others up with you. Your excellence gives others permission to strive for more. Your example lights the path. So becoming your best self is not just about you. It's about who you are called to lift. Someone is watching you. Someone is waiting for you to win. Someone's breakthrough is connected to your breakthrough. So stop playing small. Stop hiding. Stop postponing your greatness. Your current circumstances may look ordinary, but do not be fooled. Inside you is extraordinary potential, and every day that you walk in discipline, in vision, in faith, in courage, you are awakening the giant within. There is no limit to what your life can become when you finally decide to live it on purpose. So now, the question is not, can you? The question is, will you? Will you rise from comfort and choose discipline? Will you silence the noise of doubt and tune into the voice of purpose? Will you stop waiting for a sign and realize you are the sign? Because the moment you decide, truly decide, that you will no longer live beneath your potential, the heavens will take notice. Life will begin to bend in your favor. Doors will open. Strength will rise. And you will begin to experience what few ever do, the power of becoming who you were created to be. This is your season. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. The world doesn't need another copy. The world needs you, the real you, the focused you, the fearless you, the faithful you, the version of you that was hidden beneath fear and excuses, but is now ready to lead, ready to shine, ready to become. So step into your calling, declare your destiny, and walk boldly into the life that has always been waiting for you. Because the best version of you is not a dream, it's a decision. And the time to decide is now.